Welcome, everyone. Thank you all so much. I see a lot of friendly faces. I see Balwant Auntie and Vinu Auntie. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you, Suki and Rita Auntie, for joining us as well. Lots of friendly faces in the audience. Everyone is here for you, Shakuntala Auntie, because at the beginning of the session, you were asking us who would want to hear my stories, and the answer is everybody. Um, we all love you and admire you and are in awe
Thank,
of you.
thank,
And
thank.
because of this whole COVID situation, we cannot be with you in person, but we're so thankful that we could talk to you now over Zoom. And all of us, and I'm in a completely different country. So that is something magical. to be appreciated.
I wanted to meet you, Samin.
I will
couldn't.
definitely come and meet you. For this event, we have two really wonderful assistants who have been working with Shakuntala Aunty, and I'll give them a big round of applause. We have our volunteer Injila, who has already been to Shakuntala Auntie's house during the week and helped her feel comfortable with the computer and the Zoom and the internet. And we have Manpreet, who's been working with Injila to make this wonderful presentation for Shakuntala Aunty. And the two of them together, really, you guys did a good job. So thank you. I'm going to now just simply and slowly hand over to Mama Ansari and Rekha Aunty, because they are going to start asking Shakuntala Aunty questions, and we're going to follow her down memory lane.
Ready, Sami?
Ready,
Yeah.
Mama.
Even before I begin, I want to tell you how I met Mrs. Shakuntala Patnaik. It was at a Tej function at my friend Vinodni Agarwal's house. And I was struck by her interest in people around her, just the way she was speaking to them and getting to know more. So I realized that day, and then Rekha, her daughter, corroborates it, that Mrs. Patnaik's USP is her keen interest in people, life, living and learning. Am I right, Mrs. Patnaik? As a simple example, let me tell you, my daughter Samin lives in Netherlands, but for some reason, Rekha mentioned Switzerland. And immediately she got this correction from Mrs. Patnaik. No, she's not in Switzerland. Now, with the Mrs. Patnaik, we all await to hear from you about your life from the early 1920s to now. Those were the days. No electricity, no school bags. You told me how there were no school bags and you just carried them wrapped in a handkerchief type of a thing. And then girls were married at the age of 12. There was World War II. We all wish to hear little tidbits from you about your memory of all these incidents. And then you were a student of Madam Montessori, I'm told. And you were also a signatory at the wedding of Durga Bai Deshmukh, and she became Mrs. Deshmukh. So we begin now with Mrs. Shakuntala Patnaik recounting her life to us in small, whatever your comfort level. You tell us about your childhood now.
Can I start now?
Yes, please start, ma'am.
Yeah. You two are here.
I'm here.
No, I was born in a small village, which is in east coast of India, amongst the eastern Ghats. It is on the border of Orissa and Madras Presidency in those days. It was called Saravakota. I gave you the spelling, Martin.
Yes, you
and
did.
Saravakota, a small village near what is called Srikakulam district now, North Andhra Pradesh. And I was born there in a joint family of with my grandfather, grandmother, and her children and their families. And there, my second sister also was born, and I became 5. And my father was interested in sending me to school. And I had to go to school walking nearby and come home. My grandmother would teach me the alphabets again at home so that I'll be the first in the class. So that's how I started my education.
Okay.
And from there, my father was in the army. And in the First World War, he fought in the First World War also. And he was in Mesopotamia for some time. And from Mesopotamia, he came to Kabul. and then Sialkot, all these North Indian places wherever there was army headquarters.
Mhm.
And then he was posted to mm,
Do you remember the name of
Bangalore.
the regiment, ma'am? Army regiment?
That was British Army. It was not Indian Army,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
and
Queen
it was
Victoria?
British Army. Pardon?
You said Queen Victoria's own the regiment name.
He was working in that Queen Victoria's own Madras sappers and miners. That
Ah,
is now called some engineering corps, I think. Something
Army.
of they
Yeah.
have changed the name.
Uh-huh.
That must have been during Queen Victoria's time.
Ah,
Queen Victoria's own Madras sappers and miners.
uh-huh.
So he was posted to Bangalore, where we spent many long years there. My father was with the British Army as a uh, quartermaster in charge of, I don't know what they do in the army, but this much I can say, he was in charge of stationery. That I knew, because he used to bring pencils, mm, which we never saw before. And those pencils would write very nicely than our Indian pencils in those days. Then these all the supplies, he was in charge of supplies. So he brought us to Bangalore. So my life was more or less, I can say, began in Bangalore. When I in Bangalore, I had to go to a school run by missionaries,
Mhm.
British missionaries. And I still remember the name of my principal, Miss Sister Son.
Ah,
Sister Son. And she was very particular that we should wear saris, not langa jacket in those days. That was the uniform. And no Western clothes for us.
ah.
So uh, later on, the school was so far. Uh, those girls used to play, British girls, the families who were there, they used to play tennis, do the cycling, and um, even sometimes we would play basketball.
Mhm.
So they would play. So my father thought his girls also should learn all these things. Why not? So I say my father is a revolutionary in those days. He made us do these things, made me learn cycling, made me learn
Mhm.
tennis, made me go hiking with them. All these we learned because we had only these British children as our
Oh,
neighbors. Later
excellent.
on, few Indians were taken into the army as sepoys. They were called sepoys.
Mhm.
And then later on, it became Indianized. Then there were during when I was in the 8th class, World War 1942. I was World War II was there, Second World War. Japan was attacking India. So trenches were dug in the houses, in the garden, in the compound. So whenever we heard a siren that the Japanese plane is coming towards India, there was a siren. We had to take these children, our siblings, and go into the trenches and hide till the all clear was given. All
Ah.
clear would be given after the planes went back. So
Mhm.
uh, we used to come out, and my mother never used to come into the trench. She would
Mhm.
say, I'll be outside in the kitchen. If anything falls on me, when you come out, you can see. She would cook and keep food for us. And then
Oh.
she would be outside, and we had our grandfather with us. Our grandfather also would not come into the thing. He would say, I can't breathe, so let me be outside. So he will stay outside. And it was the ration days. Only 15 kgs of rice. It was not called kgs in those days. Sare.
There, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And 15 shares of rice for a family of 15 people.
My God.
Somehow we managed, and they used to give, the army used to give rations also to the Jawans, to the army personnel. So somehow it was supplemented and we managed. And in the school also, these air raid shelters, when we were in school, if there was a siren that there is a plane coming towards India, there would be a siren, and each class would get into one bench. In those days, one class was only 20 children. It was a girls' school, all girls. One would push the other into it if you can't get in. And the others would pull us in. And when the all clear was given, one by one we would come out and attend our classes. That's how it worked during the war time. Then slowly the British withdrew and army took over, Indians took over the army. My father was retired and he came back to the village. For the education of the children, he settled down in a place called Parlakimidi, which was owned by a Jamindar. And he had a very good college and my two sisters were in college, so they had to get educated, and there was a good school, and so the other girls went to that school. Then I did my BSc in Bangalore only. I took the subject which would suit me to become a doctor. Botany, zoology, and chemistry. This is because my father wanted me to be a doctor. And I got it. In those days, there were not many medical colleges. I was sent to Patna. Each a student was allotted one seat in a different university. So I went to Patna University and I studied for 2 years. And then my father was recalled to attend some, that was the time when Subhash Chandra Bose. And Subhash Chandra Bose was started his army. So my father went to Burma. We were left behind. I was in Parlakimidi, and my sisters were studying there. My mother and my aunt were with us. And my mother could not afford to send me the money to finish my MBBS. So after the second year, I returned home and I thought I must work to feed the children and not only feed, to help them out in their day-to-day life. And I did my B.Ed in Rajamandri, in Andhra Pradesh. Rajamandri is in Andhra Pradesh. I did my B.Ed in Rajamandri and became a teacher in the local school in Parlakimidi. And in Parlakimidi, my second sister was old enough to get married because she was 18. So when she got married, I, being the elder one, I was not married. And after a year, my father returned and my mother was anxious that people will say the elder girl is not married, the younger girl is married. So she would insist that I get married. And by then I was 24, that was too old. This is an old woman, who will marry her? That was the way people would talk in those days. But when they found a man who was a widower with 3 children, my mother said, it doesn't matter. He's well qualified. He's handsome. We know he's indirectly related to my mother. That's why she was keen that she knows the family and the girl will be all right. So she took the 3 boys and brought them up. And I too stayed back to help them until he returned. My husband was a professor of mathematics in Presidency College, Madras. And he returned and he became a professor in Madras Presidency College. I came back. I went back with the 3 children to Madras. And there, when we were in Madras, Madam Montessori had come to Madras to the Theosophical Society to teach the new method of teaching the younger children with all the material that is necessary for Montessori teaching. And they sent English teaching teachers from each school. 5 of us were there, each school. And then we underwent training for 6 months under her, under Madam Montessori. And then my husband became regular professor in the college, and he was asked to go to Calcutta to ISI. ISI is Indian Statistical Institute. Statistics started with one Mr. C.R. Rao and Mahalanobis, world famous statistician. And C.R. Rao was a family friend, and Rekha and C.R. Rao's daughter are the same age, and we were neighbors. We were very close together, and we really enjoyed our stay in Calcutta because Calcutta is a beautiful city. Ganges flowing by, and those beautiful, that fish you can't get anywhere. I know Martin's husband likes that fish because he would ask me to cook that fish for him. So,
You always did.
from Calcutta, I think in Calcutta, when we were in CSO, Central Statistical Organization, he was posted there. We met Durgabai. No, I met Durgabai in Madras also. She started the Hindi Prachar Sabha, and Andhra Mahila. All the Andhras. Madras is full of Andhras. So Andhra Mahila, the schools were also started there. And I started there, and all the Telugu ladies used to come, and she was a Telugu lady, all of you must have known. She is from Vijayawada, and she worked with Gandhiji for the salt satyagraha. She went to jail and she got beaten by for saying don't have so many children. Family planning was started by Durgabai. She became the women's welfare minister during that time, during Nehru's time. During Nehru's time, Chintamani Deshmukh was the finance minister. So he married a French lady, and she passed away, and he had come back to India to serve the country. When he came back, Durgabai met him, and they wanted to marry. We were neighbors in the sense the fourth house was Durgabai's, and there was a UNESCO meeting in Delhi where we were allotted a house. And that's how we became the neighbors of Durgabai Deshmukh. And she used to like this gongur pachadi, all these pachadis. And she would ask all the uh, those pachadis I would make and take her to her house because it's only 4 houses away from my house. And I used to take my girl was put in the school, Durgabai, run by Durgabai. And a bus used to take her early in the morning. You know how winters are in Delhi in those days, very cold. And I would take this girl and leave her in the school and come back. And it was a nice living in Delhi. And my son was born there. That's where Martin is interested. In those days, there was no, when I became pregnant, there was no X-ray, no scanning, no X-ray. So you call it scanning now. In those days, it was only X-ray. And my stomach was so big, I used to lose balance and fall down. And they found out I had extra amniotic fluid. And the doctor said, the child will not be a complete child. Either there won't be legs, hands and feet will not grow, or there won't be a skull. And I used to, there was no abortion. Abortion was a crime. The doctor could not do anything. She said, I am helpless. I only pray that you get a complete child. And in no way there I can help you. So Orissa, like Venkateshwara is the god for Andhras here. Jagannath, who has no hands, no legs, only big eyes with round black, watching you. That's all. That's made out of wood, wooden god. So I said, if I get a child who is complete, I'll name him Jagannath. So he was born, but operation was what do you call now? Caesarean. And no lights.
Petromax.
Because it was raining. Petromax light. 3-4 Petromax lights were lit, and this child was taken out and was thrown into the thing, wrapped up, saying that he would have been dead because there was no oxygen for 4 hours. When the eye came to take the child away, he moved, I think. He said, "Bacha to jinda hai, hil raha hai, kyun phek diye?" They took that child, put him in the oxygen tent, and I didn't know that I had a child because there was no anesthesia like you have now. They had what they call some kind of a mask they would put on the nose and mouth, and you have to breathe and you become unconscious. That's all. That was the. So when he was born, the first question I asked when I came round, is the child complete? Has he got hands and legs? Has he got a skull? Then when they said yes, I said he is Jagannath. So he was named Jagannath. And then today, that boy is in America, a scientist with NASA. That child would have been without hands and legs. But I had that child who is the youngest. I call him Gopal.
And Mrs. Patnaik, that was Wellington Nursing Home, you told me?
Mm.
That place was Wellington Nursing Home?
That is called Wellington Nursing Home.
Ah.
That
But
was called. Now
now?
it is called Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital.
Ah.
Now it is called Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital. It was called Wellington Nursing Home in those days. Then
Okay.
from there, on the day he was born, my husband was asked to come back to Andhra Pradesh, which was separated from Madras Presidency. Andhra Pradesh was formed in 1957.
Mhm.
He wanted statistics. You must have statistics for anything. To start a company or to start a department, you need statistics. And there were very few statisticians. My husband was one of them. C.R. Rao, the famous scientist, he is also one of them. And many of these people were the first batch of statisticians from London University came into the Planning Commission. That's how it happened. And that was in Delhi. And then from Brahmananda Reddy was the first chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. He said, you come immediately. And I had to take these young children. I had Krishna, that third boy, and then my girl, and then this little child who was just 3 months old. And in those days, no air conditioning in the trains. They would keep a big block of ice in a tub. And that will, with the fan going on, this cool breeze is the one that we had in the first class. So we reached Hyderabad, and from there he started the Bureau of Economics and Statistics, and from there on, a new life began for me and my family in Hyderabad. And then, since the whole world knew about the work that India was doing in statistics, and India had very high quality statisticians, this UN wanted my husband to start a university, statistics department in the University of Philippines. So that's how we left for abroad. A girl who was born in a village where we had to walk bare feet to the school with books tied in a handkerchief, had to go to Manila to start with, because the husband had to start a thing. That's how my life from a village to go outside India and travel to all these countries. And wherever one happy thing I can say, or I'm thankful to God, wherever my husband had gone for a conference or a meeting, he would always ask me, would you like to come and see that country? And I would say yes. And the UN always sponsored the wife to go with you. So I went to Europe, I went to America, I went to Australia, I went to Manila, I went to Indonesia, I went to Philippines,
Russia
for a meeting. He would go for a meeting. And then I was teaching wherever I went. When we went to the Philippines, I had to teach in the UN school because there was no English teacher. That's one big boon that the British left for us. They taught us English. Wherever we went, We could understand them. They could understand us. And in the school, I used to teach English to those children who didn't know the language. So wherever there was a UN school, I was a English teacher. Indonesia, I didn't teach because Jakarta was the capital. Sukarno was the president. He didn't like UN. We were always on tenterhooks when he will ask us to go away anytime we like. We like. And his speeches were always in Indonesian language. And my husband would sit by my side and ask me to translate what he was saying on the television. That's the first time I have seen a TV because Sukarno was giving a speech, let the UN go. So we always had a packed box with our passports and our clothes and the money and pounds and dollars. So that these are the only two.
Amazing.
These are the only two currencies that would go anywhere, pound or the dollar.
Dollars.
So with that only, one box was kept. Only I had these two children with me, my girl and the other boy, older to her. So there, no, I had even Gopal. I had the little boy also, but he was on my passport. So I don't remember his clothes. So all his things were kept together and we were always ready, and a plane was kept for the UN personnel to leave Jakarta anytime he wants us to leave. Then we were sent to Thailand. Bangkok is the capital, and there he became the deputy director of Asian Institute of Management, Economic Development of Southeast Asia.
Oh.
That's how we were in Bangkok for a long time. And I became very fluent in that language and used to talk to those people in their language. And I was fluent in English also. So I could give a speech in English, just like I am speaking to you now. So it became easier for me to become a member of the UN Women's Organization and Red Cross. I joined the Red Cross. I became the president of the UN Women's Club. I joined the American Women's Club. And as such, the club members of the other countries, UN countries, would call us for meetings. That's how I went to Australia. Perth. I went to Perth. And Perth, very few people go to Perth from India. And it was so nice that I had a chance. And as a president of this thing, I visited Perth. And from Perth, I am very fond of food. I'm a foodie, I can say. I would like to eat and try all sorts of food. It doesn't matter what it is. And I'll tell you one very silly thing. My husband is the man who is working for the country. There will be cocktails and this. Every day there will be a cocktail. Every day there will be dinner or a lunch or brunch. I learned the word brunch. That is breakfast come lunch. Breakfast come lunch is brunch. And different types of food from different countries, and I was interested in learning how to cook that also.
Thai food.
uh, I like to learn. And that's how I learned from my maids, from my cook, how to cook Thai food. And to this day, I like Thai food the best because it has that chili, that small chili, the small chili, which is very hot. And that gives a special type of a taste to the food it is added to. And they used to eat fish. Fish is the main thing, and different types of fish, and coconut milk.
Mhm.
And then Indonesia, it's a Muslim country. So here, Manila was a um, Christian country, and mainly it was pork they used to specialize in. And then Indonesia was a Muslim country, and there was no pork of any sort anywhere, so we were safe. We used to buy mutton and go to any shop we could buy, and we were very sure it was not pork at all. And there also I learned how to cook barbecue. And then my husband retired from on his 60th birthday. He said, I have worked too long. He began working when he was 22. So he said, I have worked too long. Now I want to take rest. On my 60th day, I retired. He retired from his job, and we traveled back to India in a ship because my children wanted to go in a ship. And that ship was headed by my brother-in-law. So from Thailand, we came to Penang. Penang, no, we came to Malaysia. From Thailand, we came to Malaysia. From Malaysia to Madras port, and from Madras port to Hyderabad. My sister was there by then in Bashirbagh, and we had beautiful life in Hyderabad, I tell you. Very wonderful life. The roads were beautiful. To see the nice I'm going is horse buggy. It was a pleasure. People would stand in a row, and he with his glory would go to the old city from this thing. And the roads were good. The food was good. There were no population like that, no cars like this. Rickshaws were pulled by men. And when this plot was allotted, they would come only up to Panchagutta police station and say, "Idhar to bhoot rahta hai ma." Idhar to no persons will stay. Only bhoot will be there because all were burial grounds.
You mean Srinagar colony?
Srinagar, not only Srinagar colony, all round. Panchagutta also, half of Panchagutta was burial ground. And then beyond, there was no Amirpet as such. Only one road was there. That side, we had paddy fields, nice paddy fields. I see no paddy fields anywhere now. And this metro has made it worse. But I'm glad the few younger generation, they have done the techniques, this thing has come up so well. I'm able to talk to you, see you people here. I'm so happy to see Vinu and Balwant and Sukanya, Martin's daughter. I wanted to see her for a long time, and Samina, all these. Because of this kind of a gadget, which I want to see the first cricket match. We bought to hear, not even see, to hear, we bought a radio. We had a small radio because I had all boys, they would sit around it for the cricket game, Gavaskar, this, and like That's why I got interested in cricket. I got interested tennis. I knew before. When I was studying, I played tennis. Now I live my life alone. And I want to be alone till the end, if possible. I don't know. Because if I leave this house, this is where I I feel I grew up. My children grew up. My children studied in HPS. Boys studied there. My girl did her MA did her BA in Madras, MA in Delhi. My sons, one became a doctor, one became a marine engineer, one became what was that? Engineer. He was an engineer. No, it's called Sponge Iron Company.
The company.
And then my Kottagudem near Bhadrachalam. So that's how I could see Bhadrachalam also. And my girl became a psychiatrist, a psychologist. And he taught for some time in the All India Institute of Hearing Impaired, Deaf and Dumb Schools. Even to this day, her student is the head of the Deaf and Dumb School in Hyderabad. So she married an army officer. And they have two girls. One girl has married an American and became an American. One girl is unmarried and she is doing very well in Bombay. She has one of the top, I can say, financiers. So I'm proud. I have grandchildren and I keep in touch with my family. My husband's family, 11 members, 6 girls and 5 boys. All of them got educated. The boys got educated by my husband and the girls got married by my husband. So we had to work very hard to save money and to get these children study and to get the girls married. And that's a huge family. If all of us join, we'll be more than 100. I can tell you that much. But my family by itself, I have four children and I have 8 grandchildren, 12 great grandchildren. See, it's a big family.
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
You told me that there was a lottery pickup for your plot in Srinagar.
Yeah.
So you got plot number 20.
20.
Now, we would like to hear a little about your neighbor and your friendship with him, because I think
Hashim Ali.
Hashim Ali.
Yeah, Hashim Ali. He was not my neighbor, but opposite the other side of the road.
Yeah.
And we were like a family. I don't call him a neighbor or a person living in the same colony, but we were like a family. He was the secretary.
He was an IAS officer then, chief secretary.
Yeah. Chief secretary, he was.
Sayyid Hashim Ali. Yeah.
And he became the vice chancellor of Hyderabad University.
Usmania
University. He was a vice chancellor. Then command area. He became the director for command areas, where he retired. And his driver is still with me for the last 30 years. He gave me the driver, said, "This fellow will be with you, Patnaik. Take him after I go." His children were like my children. We would play. And I am very fond of playing. I can tell you, even though I am not a chicken, I would like to play with chicken, I tell you. And whenever it would rain, Mrs. Hashim Ali, Bahida, her name is Bahida, she would come and say, आओ जी खेलेंगे पानी में, पानी तो पड़ रहा है ना, पानी में खेलेंगे चलो. Both of us will play in the rain and enjoy ourselves. And Diwali, they would come to my house and they will put the lamps down their compound. We will celebrate it together. And for this, what is the Muslim Eid? She would call me first to break the fast. And to break the fast, you have to take that anjeer. What is it? खजूर. दीदी आप खा लो खजूर पहले, बाद में इसको खा सकते हैं. So it was like that. And Hashim, his name is Hashim Ali. Hashim would come in the evening from his office. And Wahida had so many friends, so many relatives. She would take the car with this fellow, my driver, her driver then, and go away, come home in the night sometime at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, God knows. And he would come and say, Akka, would you give me some tea? My wife is roaming somewhere. Nobody is at home. There was a cook called John in their house. He would cook very good biryani. And whenever there was some biryani cooked in their house, a little was sent for us. Anything that purihara, we call it purihara, that is kata rice. We make for any festival, we make it. So that I would send to her. She passed away on Diwali day. And I didn't know. She told me the previous day, make those vadas and make this kata rice and send me tomorrow. I want you to make that and send me. And I prepared the next day, early morning, and called John. John, अम्मा मेरे को ये बनाने को बोली, मैं बनाई हूँ, आके ले जाओ. अम्मा कहाँ है अम्मा? चले गए. She passed away in the car where driver was driving and John was with her. And what do I say? Wahida gone. And her children, they were married off.
And Amma, just for your information, Samin, if you can highlight Seema, Sayyid Rahimullah is there. Seema is there listening to you and you can see her. She's waving out. There you go.
Seema, come and see Rekha. Seema.
Lovely.
Rekha is here, Seema. Are.
Hi, Rekha.
Allah, you've become emotional.
This is Seema.
Seema, that's so wonderful. What time is it? It must be so early for you.
It's hi, Rekha. It's 6:20.
Wonderful to see you.
6.
Hi.
It's
So nice to see you, Seema.
Wonderful.
I'm really
wonderful
pleased
to see you.
Yes, I can say.
And she sent you gifts for your
And
birthday.
Mrs. Patnaik always remember.
Remember it.
It's wonderful to see
How are
you.
your children, my dear? You see, Rabir, your driver. He is with me still. Idhar aao.
झुको जरा, झुको.
Assalamualaikum, Hafiz.
He's there. Shabir. There, Shabir. Shabir is here.
Assalamualaikum.
Yeah, Shabir is also there. दिख रहे अम्मा, दिख रहे? How lovely. And always Mrs. Patnaik tells me, Seema's laughter comes to me from across the road.
Yeah. I can't forget it, Seema. In the evenings, I remember, ha ha, the whole mohalla will shout. You will resound with your laughter. I miss it. I do miss it. Now there is no camaraderie like that anymore. No people who meet one another. And to add to the misery, this COVID has come. and it has made us all away from each other.
But see, the technology made all of us meet together, no, Mrs. Patnaik?
Yeah, this technology, thanks to you, new generation. I scold the new generation for certain things, but I'm thankful to the new generation for giving us a technique like this, where I can see you, talk to you, feel happy about it, and bring tears to my eyes. I feel happy. Nothing
Thank
can give me. Thank you,
Thank you
Samina.
for a lovely session. And Samin, now would you like the audience to ask her anything, or is it over now? What is the? Are you tired now?
If anyone of you want to ask me anything, please do.
Oh, perfect. See, everyone has permission now.
Now, because of this, I'm able to see my family. One day I told my daughter, I like everything, but the thing is, I can't see my children. They are away in a different countries. Son is in there, and you are somewhere else. Because of this COVID, you can't travel. And so what happened was, then she said, the next day I get a smartphone. I don't know how to use a smartphone. I don't know what it is. And I get a small parcel like that. I said, how do I use? I don't know anything. Why did you spend so much money? For us, it is money now, na? Why waste this much of money? I can't learn at this age. I'm too old. They said, nobody is too old, mommy, you can learn.
And you've done an
I'm
excellent
glad I learned. Now I am trying to use, and I make so many mistakes. I call them so often. I feel at times maybe they are busy and I am calling now. But thank God they have the patience at times to tell me what to do, how to do. And I have a niece next door. I call her and ask her to set it right. That is a peculiar sort of a gadget. No? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yes, Suprabha comes and helps you often, huh?
Yeah, Suprabha comes in.
Shakuntala auntie, I have a question. You
Yeah.
know, you talked about the Gangura Pachadi and other such things. Do you still cook these things? Do you still make them?
Yeah, when children will come, they say, you make it. I feel I sit there with a chair and I have a cook. I taught her all the things that my children like. She cuts all the vegetables and step by step, I tell her, put this, put this, put this. And Thai food also, if it is Thai food, I cook it myself. If it is Oriya food, I cook it myself. I told you my husband's side is a big family. Their children are studying, some of them are here. They would come on a holiday and said, Mashima, I want you to cook this. They will bring the fish and the rye, rye, that is mustard. And with that kind of a dish, these children don't know because they learn now. But I used to cook, even now I cook when I feel that they like what I cook. My daughter says, you fry aloo fry. Such a simple thing. Mommy, if you fry, it has a different taste. I fry the same recipe, but you put something there, you don't tell us that one. I don't put anything there. The same thing. But she says, you put something there, that's why it tastes different. I like to cook.
You
Even
also
now I
told,
like to cook.
you also
Pardon?
told, even now you like to go to Q-Mart to pick up the ingredients for your Thai food. Is that right?
Yeah. To buy some Thai food. My daughter says it's available only in Thai, in Q-Mart. I go to Q-Mart to get them, and they show us which is not genuine, the ones which we knew in Thailand. But we have to make do with that one. We do that.
Auntie, I think
And-
Vinodni auntie and Balwant auntie want to say something to you.
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
Balwant
we-
sitting by your side.
Balwan,
Where is
we are
Balwant?
coming to eat the fried potatoes on one of these days.
Yeah, please do. When did you come back to your house? When did you come back to your house, Vinu?
I came back 1 week back.
How is
Mrs.
your
Patnaik, there's a
daughter?
suggestion. Maybe you should make a recipe book for all of us. Just have somebody write it out for us.
Yes,
No,
please.
for
It
what?
would be so
Gongur
nice for us
Pathari.
to.
Pathari is my cook will bake.
I'll tell you, she leaves something out and you follow the recipe, it won't be the same. You have to eat it made by her. No recipe book.
Reka, we want something from her.
No, they say that. I don't know.
No, auntie,
I
please,
don't-
you tell us the recipes. We'll write them out. I'll write them out and then I'll share them with everyone.
Please,
Daily one phone conversation.
No, I say
we can do
it
it.
will be the same. Don't worry.
But you have
know,
to write
no,
it down so we
It is
can
the same.
continue
I
making
don't
those
put
food.
anything extra.
Especially since you like Thai
Maybe a
food so much.
little trick. It is no. In the olden days, there is a saying. It is a hand that puts the salt.
Yes, it
It
is.
is the hand
It
that
is.
puts
I
the salt.
agree.
in it.
That's the secret recipe.
If it is a mother's
That's the-
hand, don't you
That's the
agree?
secret.
If it is a mother's hand, it is a different taste. If it is
It is
auntie's
true.
hand, it is cook's hand, it is different.
Mm.
You cook
I see.
yourself, you make do with whatever is there because you become lazy for cooking yourself.
In the audience, Shakuntala auntie, I see Batul auntie as well, who's joined us.
Beta, you know what? I just wanted to say, that, ma'am, you remind me so much of my own mom and who Sameer had visited recently. It was so
Sameer
much
is such a-
fun we had her.
She-
Unfortunately,
she was a-
working
she was admiring my sari. I said, my sari is good, but it's so beautiful. So she is so nice, so beautiful. So
So,
it's
you
not the
keep
sari
reminding
that is
of
beautiful.
my
It is the
mother.
person that is beautiful.
Sameer, I have to share this with you all. मैं कुवैत में रहती हूँ तो मैं एक दिन मम्मी से ऐसी मम्मी को भी मैं भी अपना टैब ले जाके दी सैमसंग का और उन्होंने उस पे से मेरे से बात करते और वीडियो कॉलिंग होती तो मेरे से पूछे बीबी तुम क्या कर रहे हैं मैं बोली मम्मी मैं
Yeah.
खट्टे की कड़ी बना रही हूँ and she walked me through that whole thing. Can you believe it? पूरा मेरे को बताए. She told me how to make the खट्टे की कड़ी with the सोजनी की फली और typical हैदराबादी खट्टे की कड़ी रहती. And then her cook who was in the kitchen, she came out and she said, "बीबी ये डालना." अरे तुम चुप बैठो जी, तुमको क्या मालूम? मैं बोल रही हूँ देखो ये बना. फिर शाम में मेरे मियाँ आए, आके वो खा के मेरे को बोले, आज कुछ अलग खाना बनाया. उन्होंने मेरे से बोले तो आज कुछ अलग बनाया. Yeah, so I said नहीं मम्मी walk through करे पूरी मेरे को पकवान तक के. तो he said now please तुम अब रोज अब मेरे को मालूम हो गया तुम्हारे खाने का राज रोज पूछते मेरे से आज क्या आज अम्मा से पूछ के पकाई शायद बहुत मजे का है खाना.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And it was such a lovely session.
Thank you, Batul. Thank you.
Very nice. Nice seeing you also. It's nice. I feel happy to see all of you. Even Seema, I want to see your children one day.
Now you can do a Zoom session and show her one
Can
day.
we?
She'll,
How is
she'll,
Sarah? How is Sarah?
Seema, no.
She's doing good. She's doing good. She came to my house a couple of days ago, and her son is moving to Houston, so we had a party for him.
I see.
So, but
Got a
she's doing
promotion,
good.
right?
Well, yes. He's going to MD Anderson, a very good cancer hospital, and working there as CFO. So he's doing good.
Chalo,
So,
Masha.
she's a little bit sad about that, but happy for him. So I will tell him I talked to you. I'm recording this so I can show it to them. So
Uh-huh.
they will see it later. My brother and my sister, they would love to see
Seema,
you.
you have to promise her that you will introduce all your children to her on Zoom once.
Yeah, I will try. Yeah, they're all in.
Right.
I'm trying to even get a picture of them so I can show you the family picture, but it's going to be hard.
Okay. And this was such a wonderful session, Mrs. Patnaik. I cannot thank you enough for giving us your time. It was wonderful.
I have to thank you because
Thank you. It was really
don't
good
know
seeing
anything
you.
about this gadget. And because of this generation, we are able to see each other like this and talk like this, and happy to share my life, which could have been a little better maybe. Or I must be
Yes.
thankful to the Lord for what He has given me so far. So good.
So good. And we have a lot to learn from you. And thank you, Rekha. Thank you, Angela, Manpreet, Samin, all of you for putting all this together for us. Thank you, Rekha.
See,
Thank you,
I
everyone.
came to know all these people because of Dubara. You dragged me into Dubara. I thought I will not be able to do justice to it. And I could not attend many of the meetings, but those which I liked, I came and saw. And I was surprised to see so many people whom I knew long, long back. And they recognized me, and I recognized them. And it was a happy meeting, Martin, because of you, because of this Dubara organization. And all of us could meet like this, talk like this, and enjoy the evening. And
I remember in the staff college, you met the Melkote family, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Very nice. Excellent.
Okay, then
and
have a
I'm
good
so happy to
evening.
see your daughter, such a beautiful girl. Huh?
Thank
But
you,
she's so
Shakuntala.
long, long, long life, very long life, and had long experience also, varied experiences. A girl from nowhere, a girl from a village in the forest. There I come to this status because it is the will of the Lord. Nothing is in my hands. I didn't plan it. It was planned, and the plan was executed by the Lord. That's what I feel whenever I look back. Where did I go? Where was I born? Where did I come? And all my children are doing well, and I have nothing to feel bad and nothing to. I have thanks for all of you. I have thanks for the whole world.
Big
I have
round of
thanks
applause.
for God.
Thank you,
That's
Auntie
all I can
Shakuntala. We'll see you soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for the lovely session.